welcome to my channel. This is Search, bringing you another action figure collector's review on Power Rangers Lightning Collection Line's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. Now, these are from the Boom Studio comic books, and I do have those comic books. I haven't really read them because I kind of want to keep them mint. I don't know, I have a thing with keeping everything I have mint. But anyway, right over here we got Foot Soldier Tommy. We've got Morphed Raph, even though I prefer that to say Red Ranger Raph. I feel like they dropped the ball on that. But anyway, you do have the figure staring at you through the window. A ton of extra accessories. You have Tommy Oliver's artwork over here on this side of the box, and it wraps around, and it looks pretty good. Over here on this side of the box, you have Red Ranger Ralph's, and he's got his little size and his artwork. I think that looks absolutely amazing. Over here on the back of the box, you do get the product image of these figures. You get Power Rangers Lightning Collection right there, Nickelodeon, Boom Studios, which, as I said earlier, that's where these figures come from. And you get Hasbro. Over here at the top of the box, you don't really get too much except Power Rangers Lightning Collection Line and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I like how the artwork on there is green. Down here at the bottom, you don't get nothing but except a bunch of that legal stuff. There's the barcode if you need it. And let's get to it. Open these bad boys up. Okay, let's take a good look at their accessories. And first of all, we'll go ahead and take a look at Raphael's head sculpt. And they did a good job. It does definitely look like Raphael as a Ninja Turtle, but there's a problem with it. They went with the angry face, and right there, it does look like he's got that angry attitude, but there's also another problem with this. It looks like he's wanting to take a big massive dump, like he's trying to squeeze it out. And I don't really particularly care for that. Now his eyes does look good. If the camera will focus in on his eyes. I guess it doesn't want to do that. But I think he's got a little bit of green in there in the eyes, which looks good. The red, it's okay. It's not the shade that I would have used for Raphael, but it's not too bad. I mean, you do get wrinkling on stuff up through there, and you get to see the nostrils, so that's not bad. And he's got them angry teeth going on right up in there, and that looks like that little back of his bandana has been glued on there. Go ahead and set that to the side. Go ahead and pick up this helmeted head sculpt. I do like it. I think it looks good. If the camera will ever focus. And I like the silver that they use on it. I like the red in the eyes. I think that looks really good right there. And the helmet color choice that they went with the plastic molding looks good. And it's got black right up in there for the Tyrannosaurus eyes, which is cool. The silver around the mouth, like all Power Rangers have, which is really nice. I think they did a good job on that. We'll go ahead and take a look at his Psy holding hands. These will be his weapon holding hands, which is awesome. I'm glad he's got the 3 fingers. I'm glad he's got the little Power Rangers gloves and the sculpted line work like we do get with all the Power Rangers. I think these are absolutely wonderful. Great for displaying options. We'll go ahead and look at his wide open hands. I think they look good. It's pretty much the same thing. You can definitely tell that these would be Ninja Turtle hands and Power Ranger gloves. So that's absolutely amazing. The wrinkling and stuff that was on there. Go ahead and look at the 2 fisted hands. And they look good as well. And you can see all that sculpted line work and detailing in there. Oh, and one thing I did forget to mention. All those hinge like this. Except for the side holding hands, which would be this one right here, and that hinges side to side. So just keep that in mind whenever you go to display your figures. Right here, you get these awesome little, I would call them power size, even though they're supposed to be like the power sword mixed with size. So that's really cool. I'm glad that we get these, and you get 2 of them, so Raphael can have both of them. And he has the little power coin in there, which is really good. And we're just going to take a look at one. All the sculpted line work and detail, like right there in that silver paint. That looks very good. And I'm hoping the black don't rub off on the inside of the hands, so like it did with the red Power Ranger. But I do like the gold in there. I think that looks really good. Go ahead and slide that to the side. And we have this little kind of like attacking little streak we have for the effect piece that will go on the end of the saw, pretty much like this, and it'll be like a downward slash or upward slash, which is really, really cool. I do like that for many different displaying options. And right here, this, I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead in this review, but you can use this for the saw. I've seen photos of people doing it. You can get that on there, something similar to that. I mean, take some good photos. You can also use this piece right here for Tommy Oliver's sword, and this thing is very bland, but it does its job. So it's pretty much silver paint, black handle, and that's fine for any foot soldier or ninja or anything like that. But you can use this effect piece also for that. And you can slide it on there just like so, which is really cool. It might give them a little bit of a power up. So I'm glad that we got that. And there is one thing I wanted to talk about. You do get storage for this. It goes back in here on the back of the figure, if I can get it to slide in there. And it just goes like that, which is a really cool and neat way to store your sword. I mean, most would have it up here or like on the side, which I think I would prefer it to be on the side, but I don't know if this is comic book accurate or not. But I still think that's a pretty neat way to store the sword, which is awesome, and hopefully he'll stand. I'll go ahead and set that to the side. And I forgot to talk about storage for him. He does have storage right here that you can store the size down like that, which is really cool as well. So I do like that. Moving forward, and I'm knocking down my backdrop. So moving forward, we'll go ahead and look at the Tommy Oliver head sculpt. And it looks like a plastic version of Tommy Oliver, which is kind of shiny, and he's got a nice little earring right there. It's pretty good. The purple on the bandana looks good. Now this is the same head sculpt that we got in the single release of the Green Power Ranger, which I don't have that one. I actually have the 2-pack with the putty and the Green Ranger. I think that was the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the same head sculpt from the single pack, not the 2-pack. So, but it looks like my hair got pushed back a little bit, like he's got a little bit of a receding hairline. So sorry, Tommy Oliver, you kind of getting a little old on us now, and I think Hasbro just wanted to push your hairline back. But anyway, we get this foot soldier mask, and it looks good. A lot of wrinkling in there, red eyes, which I'm not very familiar if the foot soldiers had red eyes. I always thought they had white eyes. That would have been cool if his eyes would have been white. But you get a lot of good sculpted detail in there, and I got a little bit of extra glare or shine on there. But I mean, I like it. It looks like it's all sewn together. You got the wrinkling back here in the back. You got where his ears are, if you could see out your ears. But yeah, I mean, it just looks really good. I'm very pleased with how that turned out, minus the white eye paint. I think that should have been white. Right here, you do get these standard hands, and I don't know why, but it kind of looks like he's got a little bit of a trigger finger going on. Maybe you can give him Tommy Oliver some guns, and maybe he can go in there and shoot up the place. But anyway, it does look good. You do get some scarring and some battle damage on there, on his little silver for the armor plates, which is nice. I do like that little touch. Battle damage in my book goes a long way. Right here you do get these two fisted hands, and it's pretty much the same thing with the scuffing and all that. Been nice if we got some weather and paint, but it is what it is. It's Hasbro, and these figures are you know, what, $50, $54 at retail. So, I mean, if they did that with every single figure, they would have to up the price. And a lot of collectors are not going to pay that much money for those figures. But right here, we do get this little fist like punching effect that we got with one of the Blue Rangers. I want to say the Blue Beast Ranger. I'm not sure. Correct me in the comments. But this does look good. I like the coloring and stuff. And it will look good for some nice fighting poses. Last but not least, we want to talk about these two pieces. This goes around the neck piece right here. Something similar to that. It might be backwards, I don't know. Just display it which way you think it looks the best. I think it looks better that way. And you put the civilian head sculpt of the Tommy Oliver right there. And you just have that down, which I'll show you that a little bit later. And right here with this, I really like this. All you do is slide it up right there, and he's got a little ninja mask. It looks kind of like a little cowboy. Yeehaw! So, I mean, I like that. I think I'm going to have mine posed up with this, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But anyway, that was a good look at their accessories. They are all mashed up and out of the box and getting ready to do battle onto your screen. Now, these figures were in every single 90s Kids toy box. We're getting ready to figure out if these figures are worth the purchase in just a second. Okay, this is normally the part where we look at the figure's articulation, but we've seen this body mold's articulation a lot. So I'm just going to run over a few things. But right here, whenever you have this face mask on with this head sculpt, you're not really going to get anything forward or anything back. It's more statuesque, which is a very big nitpick. Like, they should have raised the neck piece up a little bit, or try to find a way to where we could get him to look down a little bit. But as you can tell, you can't get nothing. I mean, it's just hitting everywhere with that hair, and you can't really get much of a turn out of it. Like, you can get that, and that's it, and that's it with this. You don't really get the full 360 effect, and you can't get his arms going down to the side as most figures with this body mold. Which, I mean, I love this body mold. It's just I wish they would figure out a way to get these arms to be more straight with the figure. And another thing is this is very, very loose on my figure. So be on the lookout for that whenever you get that on your figure. The other one, it's not so bad. It's basically like a normal hinge. This one's extremely loose. So just be on the lookout for that. But anyway, you get, and it's not really the ball peg really either. And I'll go ahead and show you without knocking everything down. My backdrop right here. You see how much range you can get with him looking up with that? I mean, that is a great amount. So it's nothing to do with this, the mechanics inside there. You can get him looking down really good. It's more or less with this mask. Now, without the mask, you can get a little bit more out of it. Here, let me just go ahead and show you real quick. Pop this. That's not what I was looking for. We'll pop this right here on. We'll move it to the front like that. And this will hinder the articulation, but not too bad. See, you can get him looking a little bit further down, but not too much, and nothing up. And you do get the full 360 like that. If you wanted to, let's go ahead and see how it looks without that on. And it's not terrible. That's very doable. And you get a little bit more looking down, but not a whole lot. So just be on the lookout for that, for displaying your figure and doing like photo ops and stuff like that. We will be taking a look at Raphael's articulation, so he can look up, a pretty decent amount. He does hit that turtle shell, which I kind of figured he would. He can look down a pretty good amount too, so that's not bad. And his neck can move that far to the side, giving him that much of a confused dog, and that much to the side, give him that much of a confused dog. He does have the Exorcist, which is a full 360. And I kind of want to show you this joint that I don't think we've seen this in the Power Rangers Lightning Collection line, but it's a double dumbbell. So that's something to be on the lookout for whenever you're posing your figure. I think McFarlane uses a lot of these, and you do get a lot of good, like, is this part movable? I thought I seen it move. It kind of wants to wiggle the neck. I think that's just a separate piece glued down in there. Anyway, I just discovered that on camera, and yay me. But anyway, yeah, I think McFarlane does use a lot of those, and you do get a lot more articulation out of it. But with this figure, it kind of hinders it a little bit. But anyway, he can throw that perfect pitch. His arms can go up pretty much all the way as far as you need them to. He does have a butterfly joint. You can get him to go within about that far because it does hit that shell. You can get him going pretty much all the way back like he's going to clothesline you and lay you out. We do have these beautiful pinless joints right here, and you can get them flexing in that much, which is a great amount, especially how beefy that arm is, which is amazing. You don't get no swivel here, but you do it right there at that hinge, and you also get the hinges that I showed you earlier right here. You do get articulation. Here, let me lift this arm up so you can see. You do get the articulation. You can see the cut in there, and it's got the waist in there cut out as well. So, I mean, it's there. If this shell is removable, you would get the awesome articulation, but then you would lose your shell. Now, what I wish they would have done is like McFarlane Toys does, and I know I've mentioned them a lot in this review, and it's their turn to make Ninja Turtles, because I think we have NECA, we've had a few Hot Toys, we've had Playmates, this, Super 7. I mean, we've had a lot of different, figures with Ninja Turtles, which is awesome. But anyway, like NECA does with a lot of their stuff is they use a lot of rubbery plastic, so you would get a lot more crunch forward, and I think that would work, even though I know sometimes, like, turtles, they're really not supposed to move this, but it would be nice to get a little bit forward, because, I mean, even the animators kind of draw them and move their torsos a little bit. But anyway, we're talking about the articulation. He can kick forward that much. He can kick back, that much. He's got almost the perfect split. Actually, that is like perfect splits right there. He does have that upper thigh cut. And I think I feel a little bit of his hip does drop down. I just discovered that too. And you do get these double knee joints right there, which is awesome. I do like that a lot. That's a great range of motion for pictures and display. You do get a thigh cut. You do get ankle pivot. His foot goes up just a little bit, and he does have the perfect ballerina. Anyway, that was a good look at Red Ranger Ralph's articulation. Not Morphed Ralph. Go ahead and look at Foot Soldier Tommy's Sculpt and Detail, which it's pretty much a plain figure, like a putty body mold, but I mean, there is some really cool stuff here to look at, and a lot of new, like this piece right here. It looks very good, and it's wrinkly. I think that's a piece of cloth, but if somebody knows the actual piece of this, let me know in the comments below. But it's made out of that soft rubbery material, what I wish the shells would have been made out of. But that's just a little small minor nitpick. I mean, you get your standard like cloth wrinkling right there, but I mean, all this looks good. I would have liked a nice little dry brushing of some black or something like that. Give it a little bit of a shadowing effect, so that way the wrinkles pop out a little bit more. But I mean, it's not too bad. I do like it. Right here, you do get these little straps for the armor plate on the right there on the forearms. Sorry, I couldn't think of forearms there for a second, but it does look good like that. And right here, this is a different kind of plastic than what we're used to. It actually kind of feels like a wrap, but it's not really. But I mean, it does have a different kind of texture to it, and I do like that. This is wrist is popped out a little bit, but it's so loose. I don't like that. But anyway, you do get the pins in this one, which is okay with me. You know, I don't really particularly mind pins. I would prefer them without, but long as they match, like this should have been a purple pin, but see right here, I mean they painted that silver right there, or is that actually the gray? I can't really tell. I think, yeah, it's painted silver. So right here, if they would have painted that purple, I would have liked that a lot better. But that's just a small little minor nitpick. This little sash he has, and this little, I think, cloth guard that guards his butt, that you can't see his butt and his crotch, which is disappointing to my viewers because they like to give a thumbs up every time they see a butt. But anyway, it does wrinkle right back through here, and it looks really good. And like I said earlier, that's where you put the sword at. But it does look very good. I would just like to see that dry brushing in there. I mean, I think that would have really made the wrinkles and stuff pop out a little bit more. But I mean, it's okay. I'm not too devastated or nothing like that. Especially right here, the dry brushing I think would have worked out a lot better. I mean, I just think that would have made all of those like little sculpted line work and details pop. But it's okay. I mean, you got customizers out there that will do that kind of stuff. And another thing is, I'm not sure if that would be comic book accurate or not, but with these feet, I would have liked to see kind of like a wrap going around there. I mean, still use the gray, but use kind of like that and just wrap around the top of the foot. I think that would have really looked nice with this figure, but I mean, I'm not sure if that would have been comic accurate or not. Let me know in the comments below. But he does have two toes right there, which is kind of weird. I would have liked this to been straight over, but that's just another little nitpick. And right there, there's Tommy Oliver's butt, so you can be sure to thumbs up this video because I just showed you Tommy Oliver's butt. Now with these figures, you'd have to buy a bunch of these in order to army build, and I just don't feel like that would be worth it. I mean, you would only be able to display them with your 6-inch action figures, and how many Ninja Turtles do you know are in 6-inch form? They're mainly in 7, which would be like your NECAs and stuff like that. I mean, you could possibly, you know, find something out there that's 6 inches, but I mean, for the most part, I think SH Figure Arts is in the 7-inch as well. But anyway, that was a good look at Tommy Oliver's Sculpt in Detail. Let's go ahead and look at Red Ranger Ralph's Sculpt in Detail. And, you know, I think this is absolutely amazing. I think they really did a good job on the sculpt and detail of these figures. But, I mean, there are some minor nitpicks. But this isn't Hasbro's part. I believe that this shell shouldn't have been gold. I think all the Rangers is gold, and that just kind of defeats the purpose of the Dragon Shield. And I think the Dragon Shield should have been, you know, for the Green Ranger. That's just like a special kind of armor. But, I mean, the Red Ranger did have the Dragon Shield at one point in time. But, and even Hasbro released that figure. But I would have preferred to see this figure without that. I would have wished this was like, I don't know, like something else, a different kind of design, which I'm not saying that this is a terrible design for these action figures or in general. It's not my favorite design for a Ninja Turtle, but I do really enjoy it. Now, don't get my words twisted. I do really enjoy it. But I mean, this thing is very big and beefy, and it's not that heavy either. But you do get a lot of sculpted line work through here. I like how the diamond came out right there, and I'm trying to get it to zoom. I do have a small little bit of gold shining through right there. I would like to see some battle damage on the shell, especially for Raphael. He's known for getting into fights and stuff. And what would have been cool would be like little tears in the uniform. I think that would have been great too. But the red came out looking very nice. I mean, there are some parts like this right here is like a light pink instead of a red on his kneecaps, which is very irritating. I mean, on camera it doesn't look that bad. And at a distance, you can definitely tell it right here. Actually, you can tell it on camera too. So that's just very irritating. I don't like it. But the belt came out looking real nice, and then you got all this gold right there for the Tyrannosaurus. You can tell that's actually a Tyrannosaurus right there, and all this the Morpher and stuff. I think that really did turn out looking good. My red is kind of faded up there at the top. I don't know if you can tell right through here. It looks a little pink, like seeping through. It's a little irritating, but not too bad. It's on the back, more so on the front. So it's not terrible. The back of the shell, I think that sculpt work actually looks very nice. Especially, I mean, it's flattering to the front, so that's not bad. I mean, I understand them using the gold for the dragon shield, but I don't know. I don't like that. But it's not on Hasbro. It's not on Hasbro. It's just the design. But I mean, look how muscular these legs are. I mean, that's like Marvel Legends, like superhero quality muscular. You don't really see that in the Power Rangers at all, which is awesome because I mean these guys are Ninja Turtles, so it's very fitting. And right here, you get to see the line work, and you get to see where he only has those toes right there, instead of it going around being like a smooth boot, which is really cool. I do like that a lot. Got them big meaty calves. They probably stole these from Marvel Legends, to be honest with you. But I'm not sure. If you recognize these calves, or calves, these muscles through here on the thighs, let me know in the comments below. Oh, and by the way, if you like Raphael's butt, you don't get to see it because it's covered up by the shell. But if you can just picture it, then give this video a thumbs up. And right there you go. There goes Raphael, Red Ranger Rafts, Sculpt in detail. Here's how they scale up against the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line. We have the foot soldiers, and honestly, these are the better ones to army build, in my opinion. They're more accurate to, let's say, the comic books or the cartoon. I mean, if and most people are familiar with the 90s cartoon. So these are definitely the better ones to collect. Even though if you did do these, I mean, for your 6-inch action figures, to each in their own. How they scale up against the Fighting Spirit Green Ranger over there on the left. And over there on the right, we have the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, White Ranger. Here's how he scales up against a couple more Tommy Olivers, but these are the evil Tommy Olivers. Over there on his left, we have Lord Draken from Boom Studio Comics. And over there on his right, also from Boom Studio Comics, we have Lord Draken Evo 3. Here's how they sculpt against a couple more Power Rangers, Lightning Collection Lines Red Rangers. Over down on the left, we have my custom Red Ranger with the Dragon Shield. And over there on the right, we have the original Red Ranger. And here's how they scallop against a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lightning Collection Lines Putty. And here's how they scallop against a couple of NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Over there from the animated series line, we have Raphael on the left. And over there on the right, we have from the movie, we have Raphael. And this Raph is super huge compared to the rest of them. And this guy is way shorter than what I thought. I thought these two would be a little bit closer in height, but he's actually a lot shorter. Last but not least, here's how they scale up against the SH Figure Arts Raphael. And I just love that Raphael. You can do so much with that Raphael. I do have the other turtles. If you would like to see me review them, leave a comment below letting me know that you want me to review those figures. But I think that he scales very well with him. But this guy's just too big and beefy. You couldn't tell that he would fit in that suit. So, but the height wise is pretty much the closest one. Here's my final thoughts on these figures. I do love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I do love the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. However, these figures are not my favorite as far as the Power Rangers Lightning Collection line is concerned, or Ninja Turtles in general. But that's not saying that these are not bad figures. I do love these figures. I do like the mashup. I think it's wonderful. But if you're looking for Ninja Turtle action figures, these are not them. These are just what they are. They're a perfect matchup between Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles. So, I mean, the nostalgia is there, and Hasbro and Boom Studios definitely cashed in on that. But let me know what you think of these figures. Let me know what you think of this review in the comments below. And as always, feel the urge to collect with Surge.
Everything I had went up in flames. My lonely way.
What's that noise in here? Oh, it stinks so bad. Raph, what is going on so bad in here? On your business, kid. Jason's gonna be in for one hell of a surprise. Now that the review is out of the way, I would like to make an announcement. This channel is going to see some minor changes in the near future. And I'm still going to be doing action figure reviews. I've just been on a little bit of a hiatus because I've been trying to get everything in order because I had just purchased my own wrestling promotion. I'm going to be trying to move forward on with that because wrestling has always been my passion. Ever since I was a little kid, I always dreamed about climbing into the squared circle, and I got to live that dream for a short period of time in my life. But now that I've been working a lot, which has also hindered me from doing a lot of reviews like I want to be putting out, I'm actually going to be putting a lot more of my wrestling content on here. Full matches, full show, everything. Interviews, promos, everything. And I'm going to be moving forward in that direction. But I'm not going to stop doing action figure reviews. I'm just going to try to build my fans up on here so they can migrate on over to the new channel that I'm going to make up. So I'm going to just start basically sponsoring myself as far as, you know, making my own content and producing on here and everything else in order to grow my fans. If that deters any of y'all, I'm sorry. You know, it's just something I feel like I want to do. But let me know in the comments below if you would like that or if you wouldn't like it. And as always, feel the urge to collect with Surge.